Welcome to Integration TV. We are broadcasting live today from somewhere very special, which I thought I'd share with you guys, something beautiful from my culture. You know, in Toronto, we have such great Somali restaurants, and I've invited the Toronto Star food writer, Karon Liu, who's gonna experience some Somali food with me today.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I am so ready. I haven't had breakfast. I'm very hungry.
So I thought today we would kind of explore what different types of Somali food they are, because I think a lot of Canadians don't know that we have some cool foods.
Yeah, myself included, and that's why I was bugging you to take me on this tour.
It's so cool because we kind of met on Twitter, and then now
Yeah.
you're here real life actually getting to experience Somali food.
IRL. Twitter is how I met most of my friends in the last 5 years.
Twitter is a journalist's best friend, right?
Exactly. So yeah, I know that there's a big Somali population in Toronto, and that Rexdale is where it's at for Somali food, but I have no idea where to start, and that's why, I want you to kind of lead the way and show me all the amazing things from their culture.
I'm on it, and I'm just wanting to know, why did you start becoming a food writer? Is that a new career now? Everybody's a foodie.
Yeah. So I started as a journalist, like a real reporter, like you. I went to journalism school at Ryerson, and then I was a general assignment reporter. Covered the crime, covered the courts. I hated it. I was terrible at it.
You mean you didn't like the negative stuff? Food is so much better.
I think it's important, but I didn't like, knocking on neighbors' doors and asking them how they felt when
right after somebody died,
when their
right?
neighbor got murdered, or calling a dad an hour after his son was killed. I wasn't cut out for that. Mm-hmm. So I started.
You mean you're human?
Well, there are people who are a lot better at doing it than I am. I'm not really suited for that. It's a very tough job, and hats off to the people who do this for a living.
Absolutely.
So I kind of made the switch to magazines, and I was an intern at a magazine called Toronto Life. And the first week that I started there, they launched a food and restaurant blog called The Dish. And then me being the eager intern, I was like, let me write for it. And I knew nothing about food. I didn't go out to eat. I didn't cook. I knew nothing.
Really?
Yeah, but my editors kind of took the chance on me. Mm-hmm. I mean, for one thing, it's free labor, right? So they're like, all right. So, they gave me a lot of assignments, and I didn't know anything about the restaurant scene, but I just asked a lot of questions, and a lot of chefs and restaurateurs were very patient and explained everything, and then I developed an interest in food and cooking. And
what I like is the fact that you want to try everything. When I first told you, I'm like, are you sure you can eat liver? You were like, I'm Asian, I eat everything.
Yeah, I think that as a food writer, you should be open to
absolutely
everything. I mean, I'm very lucky that I don't have any allergies or food restrictions, and in order to learn about different cultures, you can't restrict yourself.
No. What's your cultural background?
I'm from Hong Kong, so I'm Chinese, and we grew up eating every part of the animal.
Amazing.
And
which is your favorite part?
I like tripe.
Really?
I love the texture of tripe. I mean, the taste is doesn't really have a taste, but I just love the chewy, bouncy, spongy texture of it, especially if it's slow cooked in curry or just on top of a big bowl of pho. I love it. Or even fried. Italians deep fry it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna come back right after the break, and you're gonna try some Somali food.
Bring it on.
Hopefully you'll try everything.
I'll eat. I haven't had breakfast. I'm so hungry right now.
Okay, awesome. We'll be right back after these messages as we tour Somali restaurants in the Toronto greater area. This is Integration. Hey guys, so welcome back to Integration TV. We are live from the heart of the Somali community in Toronto, at one of my favorite breakfast joints, Salama Hut. And I brought along, maybe I'll call you a victim today because you're going to try some new food. Just kidding. Karon Liu from the Toronto Star is here.
Cheers.
Oh, look.
Salamat.
Hey, welcome. Thank you. This is Faisal. Faisal is actually one of my favorite waiters here. I come here all the time for breakfast with my mom, and he's always kind enough to serve me. And we're going to try all these amazing foods. So basically, the Somali breakfast consists highly of like protein, which is kind of weird because in Western culture now, protein is important to eat, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's important. This is also a very elaborate breakfast.
It's heavy?
Like, well, it's a lot. Like, you know, a lot of people, I hear, you know, it's like toast or like
Yeah.
like yogurt, and then you have this like very elaborate like sauteed
Well, our
meats
diet-
and like
Yeah, it's heavy
crepes.
protein. Hmm. Our diet mainly is more like heavier during the day, and people don't eat later on in the afternoon. So basically, they consume majority of their calories earlier in the day.
Yeah, well, breakfast, it's supposed to, aside from being the most important meal of the day, I think I've read that you're also supposed to pack it with protein to like
Yes.
last you through lunch, so you're not like, by like 11.
Yeah. And part of it too is our nomadic culture is that a lot of people have to walk for long distances, so they need good breakfast. So for the protein and stuff like that from back home in Somalia. So depending on what area of Somalia you're from, they eat different kinds of foods, right? So we have this, what we call anchello or lala. Anchello, yeah.
Sounds Italian.
Laha, and basically the laha is where, you know, it's like this is like their appetizer. You eat it with your food.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we also have malawa, which is actually eaten more in the southern Somalia, which is kind of like more sweeter, but it's the same food, but a little bit sweeter.
Okay.
So the best part is we eat with our hands.
Okay.
So start with this.
Okay, start with the savory crepes.
Yeah. And then you take
Just grab the
that
whole
and
thing.
you basically like, you take it like this, you cut it on, and you kind of dip in.
Okay.
And then you kind of scoop it with your hand.
Is there like a
This is fun.
Somali equivalent of cheers?
Cheers.
Yeah. Or like
Alhamdulillah.
bon appetit?
Bismillah. Well, we always bless our food, so bismillah.
Oh,
Okay, bismillah.
it's delicious. It's like the liver is so tender and so moist. Anytime when I'm out eating, especially from a restaurant from like a culture that I'm not familiar with, I'm always like, just make it like you would.
Yeah.
You know, don't give me the foreigner treatment.
Yeah, no, it's better to eat the authentic food the way it's made. Awesome. So we're going to let you enjoy the rest. I think nobody wants to watch us eat the whole plate because we're going to finish up before we go to our next spot, which is we're going to go for lunch. Next is our lunch. So we'll see you at our next restaurant as we explore Somali food in Toronto. This is Integration. We're here at Hawass, this Somali Mediterranean restaurant right here in the heart of Rexdale. We've been touring the great area of this Toronto, trying to look for the hot Somali food spots. And I brought along Karon Liu from the Toronto Star.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. I still have some liver in my teeth from the last spot.
Yeah, how was your experience at Salama Hut?
It's been great. I would love to go back.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Well, that's good to hear. So now we're here at Hawass, this kind of unique spot, which I love because it shows the old way Mogadishu used to be the capital city of Somalia. What are you thinking about the location here?
I mean, it's definitely got more airy, like, cafe, like a little bit like the Italian vibe to it, because I noticed on the menu there's like cappuccino and like Alfredo. What's up with that?
Yeah, so Somalia was colonized by Italy in the southern part of it. So a lot of the people from the south speak Italian. It's actually one of our
Oh, really?
Yeah, common language. One of our first languages is Italian, Somali, and English. And the north was colonized by the British. So we have a lot of Italian influence, a lot of pasta, a lot of great coffees. So this
Yeah.
is the story of Somalia.
Okay, so if I were here from like the first time, which I actually am,
Yeah.
what should I try here?
Well, I thought today would be kind of cool to try their special, which is the Hawass bowl.
Okay.
And this is kind of cool because what they do is they kind of, there he is, he's gonna bring it for us. Come bring it to us, it'll be so amazing. So the Hawass bowl just arrived. This is the mix of Mediterranean influence, Somali rice. So we're gonna try it right now, Karan. I think we should kind of dive in.
Oh, it's delicious.
It's good, right?
The rice is really good.
So I think we should try our fresh strawberry lemonade because they make this fresh every morning.
Okay.
And then kind of head over to our next location. Let's try.
Okay.
Should we say cheers?
How do we say cheers in Somali?
We asked me that earlier. I don't even know. We don't have such a thing.
Really?
No. Cheers.
You made it
though.
up.
Let's do a cheers. It's a Canadian thing. Let's do
All
it.
right, cheers.
Cheers. Hey guys, so we just left Hawass. Now we arrived at the Lao Restaurant, which is actually one of my favorite places in Toronto because I think it has the authentic Somali food. And I'm hoping that you'll try our goat meat because this is the specialty here. This is where you eat real goat meat flavored with Somali flavors and cooked with passion and love.
Yeah, well, you described this place as authentic Somali food. What's your definition of authentic Somali food?
Well, now that I've been back home, I think it's more about like food that tastes like it's actually from back home. So I think the way that it's cooked here, the way it's prepared with the spices, it's really kind of added that flavor that this is the actual place that cooks the best meat.
Yeah. Are there any specific flavors or textures that I should be looking for?
Well, I think the main thing I told you about was the way the meat is boiled and then how it's stir-fried and cooked. And so the main thing to look out for is actually the rice always. I always say the rice is the best thing that we have.
Right.
But with the goat meat, it's the tenderness, the way it's like cooked and it kind of melts off the bone. So the food is coming. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Hassan. Hassan is one of my favorite chefs here. He's amazing.
Whoa.
And this is the famous goat meat, the rice. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
This is our wasla, rice, and this mashed potatoes with garlic and bread, Somali chapati, vegetarian, and the salad. One of the Lao Restaurant. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So let's try now. I want you
Okay.
I want to see your first reaction to the famous goat meat. We call it the wasla. This is actually the shoulder,
Okay.
which is the most tenderest with more muscle, so less fat.
Yeah, it is very tender. The knife just cuts through it.
Yeah.
Very tender.
Chicken stew with rice, and here there's kind of juices and for a second.
Yes. Perfect. So this is chicken suqar. This is what look how fresh the food is. Like, and then what I love about this place too is that the food is cooked fresh to order. It's never sitting there for a long time, which is important, right? Our last spot is coming up as we go check out the hot dessert place. As we're gonna have a quick mango shake, which is one of the best ones in the city.
Awesome.
So our food tour has come to an end, and what an exciting day it has been. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you, Karan. Thank you
Same
so
here.
much for experiencing Somali food.
Thanks for taking me.
And from eating breakfast at Salamahat to having a bowl at Hawass and eating the amazing 5-star dinner at the Lao Restaurant.
Lots of
And
go.
now we're here at my favorite spot for desserts and sweets, and we're getting our favorite mango shake, which has, I say, the most amazing calories, but it's worth having every time.
How do you make it?
Oh my God, it's so
Oh, it's like Jello.
Oh yeah, it takes
Woo!
time to make this,
Yeah, it
and
does.
it's not easy.
Okay.
Yeah,
So this is the, oh yeah, it is Jello. You know, the
And it's
best thing to
very
do is eat
sweet.
it with your hand.
Very sweet.
yeah.
Okay.
Mostly they eat it with, drink it with coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Black coffee too.
Exactly. Yeah.
And no sugar, because this has enough
Exactly.
sugar.
And you have enough sugar now.
There's a lot, like,
Yeah.
double fisting the sugar. There's a lot of spices in it.
There is a spices. Yeah.
What kind of, like,
You want to give us your
Tasting like
secret
That
ingredients?
one is a little bit hard, but there is spicy.
I taste
Yeah.
a lot of cardamom
There is.
in there.
Yeah.
And then what makes it that red, pink
That's a color.
Mhm.
Like I can change it the colors like yellow, blue, any color that I want.
You can make
But
blue
this
halwa?
one is the main thing. It's
Yeah.
only the color that I add on
Yes,
in the halwa.
that's
So to
nice.
change the color. Yeah. So
So you make this every morning?
every day.
Every day.
Especially in summer, like 3 times.
Yes.
Winter time is gonna be less little bit because
Yeah.
of the weather. Yeah. It depends how it goes. Yeah.
How
And-
long does it take to make this?
This one 4 hours at
Yeah.
least. Yeah. 4 hours.
Right. So does every house make this, or do they usually just come
It's
here?
very hard, as I told you. Like it takes 4 hours, so a little bit hard. So I make for them easy, like to make for them the halwa and easy for them to buy it instead of doing 4 hours like just doing the halwa. Yeah, that's the thing.
So the cool thing here too is that I know we're kind of running off of the segment here, but look, there's the sambusa, the bachia, and the bur. This is
Yeah.
like the more desserts that people have, which is kind of cool. If
Exactly.
you don't have this in your house, you're not a good guest person, right?
Yeah.
A house host. And then this is my favorite,
The
which is
sambusa, this one,
sambusa.
yeah, is a beef. Yeah, so fresh ground beef.
Yeah. And it's
with the
best when it's
onion,
cooked fresh
all
every
that.
day. I
Oh
love
yeah,
it.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Daily this one, daily.
Yeah, daily.
So for the non-Somali, it's
They love it,
samosas,
like-
but it's pronounced differently.
Exactly.
Yeah, in Somali it's sambusa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
in
the thing.
Indian culture it's samosa.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
So we got our own language, you know. Okay. So I want to thank you so much, Noor, for
Anytime,
having us. This is
anytime,
kind of
anytime,
cool, like
welcome.
that you get to experience our culture, and thank you for
Anytime,
sharing your
anytime,
restaurant. I love
anytime.
Al Aruba. It's one of my favorite spots in Toronto.
Thank you very much.
Especially Ramadan too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this is where I get all my food. You know, sometimes it's hard to cook all this stuff yourself, and it's nice to have great restaurants in our community that are giving back to the community by providing good food and service. So I want to thank you so much for joining me from the Toronto Star and enjoying Somali food.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much.
Like, drink it up.
Yeah.
We don't have cheers in our culture, so I told them we have bismillah. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, thanks so much for joining me on Integration TV. You can always log on 24 hours a day onto our YouTube channel and follow us and connect with us on social media. Take care.